terms of who's in the hot seat, there's going to be four of them. They all, frankly, have different issues. I know they're all sort of wrapped up in one piece of it, but who do you think is going to get the most attention and who's the most at risk? Joanne?
Well, clearly Jeff Bezos will get the most attention because he's not testified before Congress beforehand, before this. Because we have all four of them, those sitting before Congress, it's unlikely we're going to get a lot of any kind of breakthrough from any one of them. They all have their talking points. We've heard almost all of their talking points before. So I think it's really the onus is going to be on the lawmakers to try and really push them to try and get some new information out there.
Alex, this is ostensibly an antitrust hearing, but when you think about Facebook and some of the others, it's not clear it's all about antitrust. To some degree, maybe about free speech and the like and censorship. Who do you think's the most at risk right now?
I agree with Joanne that Jeff Bezos is definitely going to get the most attention. This is his first time appearing, and Amazon has 798,000 employees or thereabouts, and so it does have the opportunity to do real harm to Americans due to the market power that it has. And of course, there are so many suppliers that depend on it. But when you ask the question about real risk, that's something I think we should seize onto, because I don't see any risk for the tech giants in this hearing. The tech giants are operating basically, setting their own policies. We have a dysfunctional government. I would even say the government is close to non-functional today. Congress people can't even walk by each other in the halls without calling each other names. And then you add on the fact that we have COVID taking place, you have the economy that's cratering, and you have an election coming up. And the outcome that I see happening here is that the tech giants will continue to dominate the economy and operate at will, and they won't see much deterrent from Congress at all.
Joanne, people say that right now there's bipartisan interest in this issue. Republicans and Democrats seem to have a problem with big tech, and yet Alex, on the other side of this, and I don't know if he's on the other side of it, but I think at the same time, the other conventional wisdom is that nothing happens.
Yeah, we really need to actually take a step back here for a second and look at, are these hearings too little too late? I mean, honestly, it's been 13 months, and in that time, and particularly in these last 5 months since we've had COVID, they have amassed an unprecedented concentration of power. So these hearings are really much more urgent. But I do think there's a really good point here that you actually were talking about, Andrew, with Bill Gates earlier, which is, yes, they're going to be looking at the antitrust issues, but what about this epidemic of misinformation, malinformation, getting to these speech issues? We just saw yesterday on Facebook, one of the very top most shared posts on Facebook was misinformation shared by Breitbart about COVID. So, these are the issues that, and white supremacy, all of these other issues are the ones that I think are so urgent right now that we really need to look at.